Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Allegheny Northern in N-scale. And today we are going to do the May 2025 layout update. So this is all the stuff that got done in the month of May. And I feel like every modeler says this every time they do an update video, but I did not get a whole lot done. First of all, Memorial Day weekend, I was out of the state and not able to take the 3-day weekend and work in the layout at all. I was doing something much more fun. I was with family and having a blast. So that is pretty much what this time of the year is all about. And this here is one of the projects that did get done. So if you recall in the communities tab, I guess we'll call it, of the site, I reached out to everybody and said, hey, have you ever had a problem with a decoder not taking the sound? And one of you smart folks said, yep, that happens when the memory is bad. Sure enough, it's exactly what was wrong with this decoder. Memory was bad. So I wrote over to ESU on their help desk, and their customer support got back to me the very next day, said, yep, memory's probably fried, you got to send it in. So, unfortunately, brand new decoder, and I did have to pay an extra, I think, $5 in shipping to get this thing back to them. But within 2 weeks of me shipping it out, or contacting them, shipping it out, they shipped it back, and I put the sound file on this locomotive, and now it runs awesome. So, very cool. It was an easy process. That was very helpful as far as customer service goes. So, it sucks that you have to send it back to them and pay $5 for a decoder you already spent $100 on, but it's better than having to just go out and buy another decoder. And it's something out of the box. I guess there was just something bad with it, and that was the first one that I've had that issue with. So, guess that kind of falls under the shit happens category. But in any event, back and it's running, and this locomotive is now cooler than it was before. Now, the only thing is, this is the direct board for Cato Locomotive, so it drops right in, and it has LEDs on it already, so you get your lights. But because you get one LED on each side, you do not get operable ditch lights. Yes, I know the ditch lights are on, but you can't really alternate them because it would flash everything. There's only one LED. So I think as a future upgrade to this, I'm probably going to separate those LEDs and make it so that I can do ditch lights and, flashing and all that sort of stuff. But that is something that I'll handle later. That's not a for now issue. So anyway, got that decoder installed, got the speaker in there all wired up, and it was actually a very easy process once the decoder worked. Picked up 2 more of these dented gondolas, this time in Conrail. So I think I have, 5 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 of them. So I think we're done with dented gondolas for now. I've got 7 of these little guys. Still got to weather them up, but we'll get there. And while we're talking about new stuff, let's roll down here. And I picked up 1 more of these Otter Valley trash cars. So it's quite colorful now. I have a red one, a black one, a white one, and a blue one. So the blue obviously being favorite color, and you can go back and look up my review. I would probably get more of these things, but honestly, I have a lot of scrap gondolas, and I don't know that I need any more. And I know need and want is 2 different things, but let's focus a little bit if we can. So probably going to just stay where I'm at with those cars. Okay, if you watched last week's video, then I've started working on some foam, and I've started cutting foam back, and I've done a little bit more work here since the last time we met. But I've got this cut down, so this is going to be my raised area. This is going to slope off into some marshy area, and I'm going to have just a little sliver of waterfront along the front here, which is going to tie back into where the main waterfront is going to be. So I do have my Woodland Scenic's deep water pour. This is the first time I picked one of those up. I didn't realize that it's a 2-part epoxy. Kind of makes sense. But I'm just moving this stuff out of the way here so you can see. I was using it to weight that thing down. But if you can see back here, I do have this lowered as well. So this is going to, it's not done yet, right? Like I still need to do a little bit more work here. So this is almost going to come down to this level here. And we're just going to kind of blend all of this in together. And that's going to be the next major Scenic project. I have been messing with ESU decoders in case you didn't know or you missed that intro there. And I thought this was going to be an easy project. And this is, there's two of them here, right? So this is the Arnold. This is, I think it's a U25C, maybe, something like that. And it's got a 6-pin connector, which of course they do make a nice 6-pin connector. But when you connect this in here, I got this giant ribbon. And boy, that really, so yes, it does. It slides right in there. And then there's no place for this ribbon to go. And then even if there was a place for this ribbon to go, this decoder doesn't really fit in here. Because as you can see, I have, I'll bring it down here, the brass tabs here. And then that's pretty much it. And then there's no space for a speaker. So theoretically, I probably could get one up in the front here. But once again, I've got brass tabs in the way. And this whole piece moves. So it wouldn't be real good for my speaker to be moving. So what I'm going to have to do is the fuel tank here. This is solid. I'm going to have to mill that out into the speaker, get myself a little speaker channel drilled into there. Yeah, not looking forward to that. And then I'm going to have to make some modifications here. So I think it would be easy enough to remove these tabs. And there's just 4 screws here holding this on. Remove these tabs and do a hard wire. So I can hardwire this up from the bottom onto here. And, you know, I should be ready to, everything should fit in there now because this will fit into here somehow. And it's still going to be kind of tight. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make this one work yet. I've got to figure that out. So then I went, all right, well, let's go over to this guy. Once again, same deal. It's got 6-pin connector. And yeah, so same problem here. And that is, I know this is sitting up here, but if you slap this down here, look at all this space. I got a ton of space back here to put stuff. But once again, I've got this plug that's going to go here, and then I got this giant freaking decoder that wants to sit, you know, in here-ish, or even if you do it in here like this, just so long as the number 1 pin goes into the number 1 there, you'd be all right. But, like, it just wants to fit there, right? Like, it's just, so that all that ribbon is just in the way. And so that's not going to be an easy fit. Now, I do know that they give you, that there's a version of this that has just the wires. And so you basically forget this connection and you do the wires. Might have to do that here. And then even if I do, then this fuel tank is solid underneath. I got to mill that out. So this, what I thought was going to be an easy, oh yeah, I'll just plug it right in and go, is going to turn into a monster. And that monster leads me to the next monster. So let's take a spin over here and I'll show you what that is. Workbench is gone. No workbench. Okay, 2 reasons that happened. One is the workbench needed to move because when I expanded the layout, this bench originally ran from here all the way to the other wall. So I had lots of bench space. I cut it almost in half and did not have all the bench space. And it was really cramping everything up. And then my AC died. Well, I knew it was dying. It's been dying for probably 15 years. And yeah, so getting a new AC. And that's coming in on Tuesday. And with the bench out here and everything else, I thought, you know what, this is a great time to make the excuse to move the bench work. So, new AC coming in. The guy who's already been here, he did what he had to do to confirm and said, hey, don't worry about a thing. We can do everything we need to do here, and you don't have to take a thing apart on your layout. And I went, hell yeah, I'll sign you up right now because he can get everything in and everything back out, and nothing has to happen. The nice thing is, it's the smaller piece up here that comes off, not the bottom part. So, you know, score 1 for the good guys, I guess. Anywho, Once that is changed out, I am putting a small desk in. It is going to roughly come from here to about here-ish, and it is strictly going to be a repair bench. So I'm going to have my soldering iron and my microtrain stuff and decoders, anything I would need to do locomotive repair, car repair, that's going to be down here. Okay, so I can still just sit right underneath my little work light here and go right to work. But all of the painting and all of that activity is going to go upstairs, and it's a nice comfortable room. It's a spare bedroom. It's going to let me sort of relax a little bit more when I'm doing my models. I'm not going to be sitting behind the layout in all of this sort of dark and gloom. I'm going to be upstairs. There's natural light up there. I'm building a custom desk that's going to be very, very comfortable. And it's actually made from the remnants of this one. And it's just going to be a nicer setup for come home from work, don't really feel like going down to the train room, but then you kind of walk past that spare bedroom and you go, you know what, I can paint for a little while. Go in and work on some models. So, I'm not sure how I feel about having the two items separate, because now I could always just do something and then go do something else. And so like I'm going to need 2 bottles of glue, super glue and stuff like that. So I'm not running up and down the steps all the time. So that's going to be a little bit of a kind of a pain in the ass. But in the long run, I think it's going to work out a ton better. So the desk upstairs isn't built, so I can't show you. It's going to get built this weekend. And so while you're probably watching this, I'm probably outside cutting lumber and getting ready to build that. So fortunately, I had enough cutoffs and pieces left over and everything else that I don't need to buy any more lumber. I can use pretty much what I have upstairs. And okay, we'll I did a little bit of half-assing of plaster work here. Basically, just wanted to get my track in because I wanted to get these cars out of their cases. All of the cars that I own now are a rolling stock for you, purists. But I got all my cars out on the layout because I wanted to see how much I had and how much I needed. And the good news is, as I fix my excavator here, the good news is I need quite a lot of rolling stock, because if you look here, that's the coal mine, empty, and there's not a car in it. And yes, I do know that I have some cars over here that are ready to go, but basically, if I send a coal train out onto the line, which I have now, there's not enough cars to fill even the power plant. Yes, I'm doing 2 things. One, I'm bragging, and 2, I'm saying this layout got a hell of a lot larger, and I've got a lot of space to go buy some cool stuff. So I'm going to start doing that here now that the majority of the time I'm done with building and testing and all that. I'm sort of into the let's get it designed and let's get it ready to rock and roll. And now I got you here. Let's just walk around here. See, this is what happens when you don't have to clean up. And I treat this like an electrician. I just throw everything on the ground. For those of you who work with electricians, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, had an issue here, and the issue was that was a number 4 turnout buried back there, and you'll notice it's a number 6 now. That number 4 turnout, first of all, it was one of these guys. Actually, it was this guy here. It's okay, like it works, but yeah, if your eyes didn't deceive you, I think the light just changed color there. But yeah, that light's definitely changing color. Somehow that got turned on. Anywho, yeah, this turnout wasn't closing all the way, and I was derailing every time I ran over it. And so I have been doing some testing back here. That turnout works great now. Don't have any issues. The number 6s are they're easier, so the trains kind of ease into it. I still have a bump up here that I have not been able to figure out why it is, because I can't actually feel it. So, but for some reason, the trains kind of rock over this joint, and I think it's something into this frog. So, they don't derail or anything. They just rock, and I'm afraid they're going to derail. So I need to get in there and sort of mess with it and figure out what the hell's going on. But regardless, that is... trains are running again, even though you're not actually seeing them running right now. Okay, so this is truly going to be just a pure update video, and that was pretty much going to be my update. I am working on quite a few things. And so let's go through what's going to happen this month. First of all, this is all of the locomotives that are sound equipped and should be on the layout. So I am going to get them ready to rock and roll. And what I mean by that is I am going to speed match them. I'm going to set them up, pair them up, and have them ready to run. And so it's going to be real easy because for the most part, like the SD40-2s, if I pair them together, they run great. But if you start pairing any of the other locomotives that aren't the same run, then they don't. They need a little bit of tweaking. Now, I've got 2 decoders. I'm going to try to start putting in. I don't know. That's going to take a lot of time, and I might want my bench built back here to do that. I was kind of just messing around here. Not the best thing to do, just free messing around like this. So I'm going to probably just box all this up, put it all back together, and wait till I have the proper place to work on it. That way I don't lose any small little screws or whatnot. So we're going to be on hold here. I am probably this month going to buy a few more decoders. I'll tell you what, the Cato and the Atlas drop-ins, they're really easy, and they require the minimal amount of work. So I'm probably going to get those all done first, and then I'm going to funk more with these ones that need a lot of funking. So we'll just wait for that. Now, I am going to start working on this. I am very excited to get this done, and so I'm going to start working on this scene and, you know, really get into the nitty-gritty here. So it's supposed to rain here this weekend. Well, Saturday anyway. So I'm going to be down here cutting foam and getting this all ready to go and rocking and rolling. And then I think this was in the last video, but it might not have been. I forgot. I did pick up some of these. These are the Fox Valley coal cars, and they're pretty sweet. So if you get a chance to grab those, definitely do that. But anyway, sorry, sidetrack. So that is pretty much what I'm going to do. You know, I've paired these 2 locomotives up together, right? These are going to be a great little local, and both sound equipped, ready to rock. And you know, I'm just looking to see what I've got that's ready to go and doesn't need any work. Now, let's talk about that here for just a second. I am debating because some of these locomotives, like, let's see here, not the MP15s because they haven't really made that with sound, and yeah, I'm not going to try to even fit one in there, but like the GP38, that's a good one. Okay, so that B&O GP38. They make a GP38, and I don't know if they've released the B&O version, but they are re-releasing these, and to me, it kind of makes sense to just buy a new locomotive. And I know you're saying, well, yeah, but you could fit a decoder in there for $100, then you have to go spend $180 on a new one. Yeah, but for the $80, I don't have to buy a decoder for $100. I don't have to buy a speaker for, you know, 10 or 5 or 10, whatever it is. And then I don't have to sit there and try to mill the frame and get it all fit in time. And then, do I have a good decoder? Don't I have a good? I can just buy the locomotive. So I'm weighing those options. Do I just buy a new locomotive, or do I retrofit the ones I have? Haven't decided yet. I don't know. Some of these ones, like this boy. So this is a prized locomotive, right? They haven't re-released it, so that one's definitely going to get some sound. It's just one of those things that I haven't decided, you know, what I'm going to do yet. So I'm going to keep replacing the ones that I know are going to need replaced, and then we'll backfill these other ones. But anyway, so that's kind of what I got going on. The month of June, and the month of June is going to be crazy. There's family stuff, and every weekend's got something going on. Plus, you know, to take care of the house. So I don't know that I'm going to get too far, and I don't know my updates are going to be too exciting, but I promise you, I do spend at least an hour during the week, you know, every day down here, just even if I'm just fiddling around a little bit, and sometimes I just move trains, and, you know, because I need to relax. But I'll take you on that journey. Here is what we're doing, and it's kind of what I got planned. So we're going to see what happens. There's just a lot to do, and there's some things I want to do and some things that I need to do, and we'll see whether the need to or the want tos win out. And, oh, you know what? I just realized. Hold on. I'll take you around the corner here. Okay, now you can't say that you didn't see her.